Alright, Psyduck DF here. So I'm just going to go over the recent February 14 patch over here. So I have my browser open over here and my in-game client on the right hand side. So I'm able to show you all the changes in the game itself. Alright, so we'll be mainly referring to this post over here. So they have added this Hero Hut Day event as per every Valentine's Day. So if you are interested, go have to do this. But honestly, this quest doesn't give any real reward. It gives you a very subpar helmet, which is nowhere near um, useful. So just skip this if you don't really want to play through this. Also, it doesn't contribute to any storyline. So yeah. And we will mainly be going through this change over here, this shadowHunter rework, not really rework, shadowHunter, huge shadowHunter nerf. Um, so my thoughts on this is kind of unnecessary. Because right now, shadowHunter, before the nerf, it was up there along with Ninja and Pirate, I would say. One of the top classes, sure, but I don't think it's overpowered. It used to be overpowered, um, and they already nerfed it once. And after that, they decided to nerf it again, which I feel is, yeah, honestly, just unwarranted. So right now, shadowHunter, in my opinion, is behind Ninja and Pirate by a huge margin now. It's more or less on the same power level as Paladin, or it might even be weaker than Paladin, because it has received a nerf to the Revenant Spin. Alright, so I'm going to talk about that um, in chronological order. So we'll be going down slowly, line by line. Okay, I will ignore all of the epoch and timeless destiny epoch. I don't even know what this is because I don't play the epoch classes. And finally, I'm going to talk about the stun changes. Okay, so first, they increase the base damage of combo 2 and combo 3. Now, my thoughts on increasing base damage of skills, right? It actually doesn't matter too much. You shouldn't nerf like the class mechanic or any skills that are lasting, that provide a lasting bonus, lasting boost or bonus or whatever to your character. All of these small damage increases, right, doesn't actually mean much to me. Unless the damage buff is significant, like at least a 50% increase. All right, something like 30%, something like 40%, it's just so minor to me. It has to be 50% is like the baseline value for me to even consider it like a damage increase. In order to really like um balance out your character, let's say your character you assign it a mechanical nerf, all right, a nerf to the class mechanic, a nerf to skills that increase your stats for multiple durations. If you want to nerf those, right, core mechanics, right, the damage that you need to provide, damage increase you need to provide to your skills should be like 80%, I would say. Then I would consider it more balanced. Like 40% is just not it. Alright. This line, all three combo skills go for a cooldown. This is actually the thing that makes shadowHunter kind of garbage. Not garbage, it's still good, but I mean it's still an okay class now, but it has transitioned from a good class to an okay class now. So basically after you finish, apparently, right, after you finish using all the combo skills, you get 3 turns worth of cooldown. I think we'll skip this first. I'll just use Praise Seeker first. So we'll just go over this entire post before I actually show you in game exactly what they mean. Finisher base damage should be reduced to a measly plus 10% per combo step, down from plus 50% per combo step. So this is a huge nerf. The base damage has been without any using any combo skills has been significantly increased, but the combo step buff is significantly decreased. So this really hurts shadowHunter because now you can only get a maximum of 300 instead of 350. I don't think anybody is actually using the finisher without any combos, without using any combo here. So this is absolutely a nerf instead of a buff. Um, Blade, Praise Seeker, Gun, those I'm not going to talk about it because I don't actually use those Praise Seekers. I use the Tricky Prey effect. Right now, they reduce all of the stats provided by this Tricky Prey as well. They lower the boost by 10, lowers the bonus by 15, lowers the crit by 15, lower 10 MPM. So all in all, like huge nerf. Especially consider this is a pretty long lasting effect. So they really nerf this hard, in my opinion. Um, but in my opinion, the thing that actually makes shadowHunter like knocks shadowHunter down a tier is this thing over here. The fact that all your combo skills actually have to go on the 3-turn cooldown. I think 3 turns is just absurdly long. They should make this like 1 turn or something if they really want a cooldown. Um, Alright, so I think the last thing that really makes shadowHunter bad is this they reduce the health resist. Instead of letting you achieve like a potential 100 -100 sorry +100 health resist, they actually cap it at +70 now. So your silver revenant bait is not going to stop bosses from healing a little bit. So right now, if I want to stop fight against bosses that have very potent healing effect, I'd rather use Paladin, because Paladin has a stronger toolkit than Shadowhunter right now, and also they are able to provide +100 health resist to a boss instead of just +70. Yeah, and they also nerfed Silvered Evo base damage as well. Sorry, they buff it. Alright, so this is a okay buff. Um, they increase the Revenant Bane damage by 30%. That's not high enough. This increase only by 25%. That's not high enough. Silver Bane, they increase it by 50%. That's okay. But all the other skills, damage numbers are not raised as high as I would like. So all in all, it's a huge nerf for the class. So we are just going to see the nerf in action right now. I think I will not show the Silvered Revenant bait. This one is pretty self-explanatory. Just lower the plus health by 30. Yeah. Let's see. Finisher base damage also be hugely nerfed. So we're not going to go over these two things. These two things over here. We're just going to mainly see the Prey Seeker, the tricky prey effect getting nerf here. So if I use this, you can see bonus has and NPM has nerfed greatly. Alright, let me check out my crit here. Crit is only 135 now. Used to be a lot higher thanks to the Prey Seeker effect. I will say Prey Seeker. It's tricky prey effect. Right. So let's just pass the turn here. Then we'll let our skills go on cooldown here. We have 4 more turns before our Hunter combo runs out. So I'll just like pass the time here. I don't know. We'll just maybe show the Revenant Bane thing in effect. So fortunately, they did not nerf the minus bonus. So it still provides as much minus bonus as before, but it only provides +70 health resist right now. Okay, we'll use the finisher here. You can see only 300% damage instead of 350%. So that's really bad. We'll just use it here, I guess. So I'm just trying to pass the turn here, wait for my combo to expire to see if it's really a 3 turns cooldown. Alright, I have 2 turns left. Alright, let's use our hunt here. And then let's use our this thing over here. I should be dodging all of the boss attacks. There's no reason not to. Okay, I got a lot of minus bonus on enemies, so they shouldn't be able to hit me. I wish they speed up the attack animation of the boss. It's a little bit too slow. Oh, they actually hit me. That's kind of unexpected. Alright, yeah. Exactly 3 turns worth of cooldown. I thought it would be something like 2 turns, but no, it's exactly 3 turns of cooldown. This is what makes the class so bad, right? Because right now, you have a long 3 turns period where you have no bonus on yourself, besides the tricky player, which is going to run out soon as well. I think what's more important is that you are not really able to chain your plus boost and your plus bonus plus crit skill with your focus hunt round. So generally, you want to use your focus hunts. You want to use your nuke, right, when you have your gun and sword buff. But with this, right, really have to sort of time your focus hunt correctly with your sword and gun combo, so you can deal massive damage to the enemy. Right now, if I attack the enemy, I wouldn't have the crit, I wouldn't have the um, plus boost bonus from my skills. So I'm not going to do as much damage to an enemy. I'm not going to nuke the boss as hard as before. So the burst damage of this class will be significantly reduced, along with the minus 10 MPM. Yeah, so really bad in my opinion. I think I'm done with showcasing this class right now. Let's just exit. And overall, my thoughts on this class is I will never use this class anymore. Previously, I was using this along with Ninja and Pirate. Now I exclusively use Ninja and Pirate, not this class anymore. This class, again, if I want like a third class to use, if I want a minus huge like plus health to the enemy, um, I'll use Paladin instead of this class. So really sad to see it go like that, but it is what it is, I guess. Okay, let's go on to the stun changes. So this is another huge change to stuns. Previously, you have a 66% chance of being resisted on the player's turn if you have been stunned. So this was actually kind of insane because you have a very low immobility gear still have 66% chance of resisting the stun. So last time the stuns used to be not that consequential because you have a very high chance of just resisting it on your turn. So like out of a 3 turn stun, I will really only get stun on 1 turn itself. But right now stuns are a lot more deadly because they no longer have a fixed flat 66% chance of the check passing through. Now it only checks against your immobility. So if you have, it states very clearly here already, if you have 40 immobility and 40 all, you will not have a 80% chance to negate the stun. You only have 40% chance to negate the stun if you have already been stunned. All right, so that's really bad. Usually, all of the good equipment don't provide you with that much immobility. And if you go into some of the best in-slot equipment like your Defender Dragon Ring, right, actually provides a -5 immobility. So if you use this on the turn that you have been stunned, it will be really bad because all is not taken into consideration when doing a stun check. Only the immobility is, so you have a high chance of actually being stunned. Yeah, so that's really bad. Uh, let's see. Yeah, on the turn you'll be stunned, right? You can change to equipment that maximizes immobility resistance, but in my opinion, and truthfully, right, there's not a lot of equipment out there that provides very good immobility resistance while still providing very good or plus all. So you really have to pick poison here, right? If you want the chance to not be stunned, a higher chance of not being stunned, you have lower plus all. So that means the boss is going to hit you harder. So right now, avoiding a first stun is going to be crucial because stuns is really more deadly right now. Again, there's not a lot of gear that provides you with high immobility resistance, so you are almost sure to be stunned if you are using a plus all gear. If the stun has already been applied to you. Yeah, so I'm not going to repeat that over and over again. Uh, in essence, stun is going to be a lot more deadly now. So you want your endurance to be high. Previously, endurance is like whatever because stun is so inconsequential, right? Immobility doesn't really mean much. Now immobility actually um, impacts the game quite a little bit. So on the turn that the boss actually tries to stun you, right? You want to use this gear set over here. So right now I'm using all my standard gear from before. So go to my equipment. I'm using Defender, Dragon Ring, Batel, Parallel Chaos, Honda, Paper Coil. All of these are the standard one I've been using before. Um, and if you go into my immobility here, you can see that I have a 99 immobility. So if the boss actually hits me, there's a minute chance of me being stunned. All right. Um, so I highly doubt the boss is going to be able to stun me. But this means that if the boss is trying to stun me, right, I will not switch over to my BPD gear um, now, because if the boss actually have a um, hit that actually pass through, right, if the boss managed to crit me and do a glancing hit on me, and I have very little or very little immobility resist, right, then if I get stunned, it will be over. The run will be over, because right now, getting stunned is really really deadly. So highly recommend this gear set. Switching over to this gear set over here. And if you want more immobility resistance, right, you can change two items here. So I think I more or less really explained what I said here. So you can change this item over here. So Defender Dragon Ring, this item over here, right? It um provides -5 immobility. Um, so it or in essence it provides 0 against your chance of getting sorry if the bot actually tries to stun you, it doesn't really protect you against stuns. So the boss stun can actually land on you. So if you want, you can switch over to this Death Knight Circlet over here. This provides a higher BPD and higher MPM, but it does not provide any negative immobility. Yeah, but it does not provide any plus all either. So it just like gives you higher BPD and higher MPM, so that hopefully avoid the boss's attack. Yeah, so maybe you can try switching over to this. There are not a lot of rings out there that give you high immobility resistance, and plus all. So if you go to the DF calculator here, you go to the ring section, you go to this line, this column over here, there's immobility plus all. Immobility plus all, you sort, and then you can use Tentacle of the Dominion. Uh, yeah, actually you can. Tentacle of the Dominion is pretty good. You can use this on the turn that you are being stunned, because this provides you a flat plus 5 all without any immobility debuff, like with the Defender Dragon Ring. So sure, you can switch over to this ring over here. I don't really have that because this thing over here is not that great, because it debuffs your other stat. It debuffs your char, debuffs your luck, and also provides not a lot of int and means not a lot of main stat. And yeah, overall like a pretty solid ring overall. So definitely you can switch over to this ring if you are on the turn that you're being stunned. And I might actually consider picking up this ring. But again, if you are using my gear set over here, you already have 99 immobility. So unless the boss have a negative all debuff on you, right, you wouldn't really have to switch to other gears to negate the stun. But if the boss does have a plus all, you can switch over to Tentacle of the Dominion here. Alright, let's talk about another one, which is this belt over here. So if you go to my character over here, you can see that I'm using Paper Coin. This is a really good belt. Personally, I think this is the best belt in the game, because it provides you very high all and very high BP and MPM. But what is not great about this belt is this -8 immobility. So if the boss is stunning you and you have a huge immobility or plus all debuff on you, right? You might want to switch out this belt over here for Ribbon of the Compromise. So what's good about this? What's good about this belt is there's no immobility. All right, it's a flat +5 all, and it provides you equally high amount of BPT and MPM. So yeah, you can consider switching over to this. And lastly, another gear you can consider switching is the wings. Alright, so usually I use this Waste Wanderer cloak here. It provides a flat +10 all, which is generally strong enough to avoid the boss's stuns on its own, because it doesn't provide you any immobility debuff. But if the boss does have a minus all debuff on you, right, you can try switching over to Sparkle Pack over here. This provides you additional +7 immobility. so you can like hold out against the boss's stuns. Okay, so I think that's all that I want to talk about regarding gears. So three things. First is the ring. You can switch over from DM ring to Tentacle of the Dominion. Second is the belt. You can switch over from Paper Coil over to Ribbon of Compromise. The third will be a Parallel Chaos. This one, don't touch it because it doesn't provide you any negative immobility. And lastly, for the wing, right, if you want higher immobility, switch over to Sparkle Pack. It provides you less NPM and BPD, slightly less, but the main stat provides you more or less the same. Endurance, Charisma, Wisdom, all of that is not really going to be affected too much by switching over to this. So, highly recommend this. Again, only use that when the boss have a minus all debuff on you. Alright, lastly, there's been a slight change to how I distribute my stats. So previously, I used 143 Charisma and I used 104 Endurance. After the recent changes, I want to increase my Endurance by a little bit because having 5 more immobility resistance will get me to the 99 immobility resistance overall that I have against bosses. So it'll be a lot more useful. Right now, Endurance receive a indirect buff because of the changes to the stun mechanics. So previously, Endurance was kind of behind in importance, um, behind strength, behind your main stat, and behind your charisma. Right now, I think Endurance is kind of on par with charisma now. So you can distribute more points to Endurance instead of a charisma. So right now, my pet dragon, my charisma is 150 instead of 200. So my pet dragon has a 1 turn cooldown on his basic skills. I don't think that really affects my damage output too much. Again, as long as your charisma is above 100, you're good to go. So you can even like increase your endurance to the maximum amount and fix your charisma at 100. You can do something like that as well if you're fighting a boss with very potent stuns or very high negative all. Yeah, you can consider doing that. I think that's all I want to cover. Um, Again, really sad that Shadowhunter is gonna be removed from my viable class list of viable classes that I'm using. I won't be touching Shadowhunter for a long time until it's nerfed, until it's buffed again. So yeah, I think that's all that I want to mention for this video. Again, if there are future design notes that talk about nerfs or buffs to pirate and ninja, I'll also cover those because those are some of my um, main class that I'm using. And I'm only really talking about this design note over here as well. I don't really talk about other design notes. I talk about this design note mainly because Shadowhunter used to be one of my top classes, one of my main classes as well. And now it's no longer so. Very sad to see it go, and hopefully like my coverage about the stun changes